For more analysis, law enforcement expert Sunny Slaughter joins us from Washington, D.C. She's also a litigation expert with more than 3 decades of experience and currently serves as an instructor at the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Thank you so much for being with me, Sunny, at this wild hour. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's good to
It's
see you.
early.
It's good to see you. It's very early. At what point does enforcement activity escalate into a public safety crisis? And who's responsible for slowing that escalation once it actually begins?
All of us are responsible for slowing down the rhetoric, which is then heighten all of this escalation that we are seeing. Unfortunately, the escalation is not just about the moment that a firearm is discharged, but it is about tactical response, visibility, credibility, posture, and communication, and what happens in those moments before the shot is fired and then directly after. And what we are seeing right now is a crisis in the community between law enforcement operational tactics that seem extreme, that are potentially extreme, but that are legally enforceable because people are getting very upset behind all of this. Protesters, I urge them not to walk off on law enforcement at any time, whether it's federal, state, local law enforcement. They need to film from a distance and remove themselves from any type of violence. This is not to say that they are wrong. They have a right to protest. They have a right to peacefully protest. But this type of escalation only drives a narrative where the community is being violated, law enforcement tactical operations are misunderstood, and they are driven not by training, but by directives.
What does this incident say to communities about safety and accountability when multiple law enforcement agencies operate in the same space?
What it says is that law enforcement is acting recklessly and that the community does not feel safe. The community does not feel heard. They are alarmed by some of the actions. And who wouldn't necessarily be alarmed by all of this? But what has to happen is everything needs to slow down. Everyone needs to slow down. And we need to get back to having relationships and conversations that matter. And this is really not helpful. The rhetoric, the hype. Our leaders need to sit down together to figure out how to be strategic in their communication, to be strategic in the enforcement of what they're trying to do, and also calm the waters because local law enforcement, they are being pressed up against all of the rhetoric and the backlash in the community. And this is not helpful because they have to operate in the community long after this enforcement has taken place.
And on that, how are local police departments expected to manage the fallout of federal actions that they don't actually control themselves?
Unfortunately, they're having a tough time and they will have a tough time because when people hear law enforcement, they think broadly, they think one lens. And these are not local law enforcement participating in immigration issues, which they should not be doing, but they are trying to navigate the fallout which is happening. And local law enforcement are being stressed and pressed not only in their time and resources, but in their manpower and things that they are being pulled away from. They are being pulled away from community resources and actions that are happening every single day. They're being pulled away from criminal investigations, responses to regular calls from local members of the community. And they also are not funded in a way that makes this tactically responsible, and they're tired. They are tired.
Looking ahead a bit, when public trust has already been broken in the way that we've seen, what does restoring that public confidence actually require in moments like this?
That's such a good question. It requires calm instead of chaos. It requires strategic communication instead of rhetoric that is heated and hot, and everyone coming from their own place of lens and language and their understanding of the law. It requires the ability to say, let's reset. Let's connect with the community. Let's look at our tactical operations and see how they can be done with transparency, building relationships, accountability, and communication and empathy. What we don't see right now is any of that happening because everyone's in their corner. When I conduct law enforcement litigation cases and oversee officer involved shooting, it requires an unbiased lens. What we are seeing now is very biased in its lens, very biased in its rhetoric, and very biased in its tactical response to everything and everyone. The community needs to feel safe. It does not, and we need to, as a global society, take humanity in possession again as our forefront of our lens. But we also need to respect the law and that operations need to take place. Everyone needs to calm down, slow down, and reset. And the leaders need to lead with not only compassion, but connectivity, operational communications, and to see that this is not working how it is. It is only escalating, and that should not continue.
Okay, learned a lot from that. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you staying up so late for our Sunny Slaughter. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.